All right, everybody. Welcome to the Hurdy Burke Internet Broadcast Network, and we are live. It's like standard clockwork every Tuesday night from 7 to 8 p.m. We invite on a local Austin business. Some are local Austin business, but doesn't mean they don't do business all over the country, right?
Right.
And I am with Jisele Tuuri. Did I pronounce it right, or do you just say Tuuri?
Tuuri.
Turi. But we just went, we'll talk about why I pronounced it that way in a minute. But we'll explain even where the last name originates from, which is a kind of a cool story. And we're going to talk about anti-aging and raw foods tonight, which is awesome. If you're a person that believes that eating is important, especially raw food, not overcooked food. We're going to talk about all that, right?
Yes.
You're in the right place because you're going to get an education tonight and you're meeting with an expert in this field. We got 10 questions that we're going to go through with her tonight for this, however long it takes, an hour or less, whatever. But we're glad to have you, and we're going to give you, our guest, a round of applause. Thank you. And I'm going to mention them one time right now. We want to thank CPR Cell Phone Repair here in Round Rock, Texas. They can fix anything. You ever cracked your screen on your phone?
Oh, I
Dunked it in water, kicked
all
it
that fun
around,
stuff.
sit in the car in the hot sun. How about your tablet? Do you have a tablet? Have you ever broke the screen on a tablet?
No, but it's bound to happen.
Well, guess what? Everybody in their lifetime will do that, and these are the guys you want to go see. They're right over here in La Frontera at in Round Rock, and they fix the cracked screens where you plug in the battery thing doesn't work, battery dies, you name it. If it's cell phone, they can probably repair it, and they also do tablets. But you guys need to go check out their website. That's cellphonerepair.com, cellphonerepair.com, and they can fix just about anything, which is awesome. And they
Very
got
nice.
great pricing and they've got great turnaround. So you're not stuck without your phone forever. You know what I'm saying? So go check out Cell Phone Repair. We want to thank you guys for being a sponsor of our show.
Mhm.
And now tonight we're going to be talking about anti-aging, I guess strategies, right? I mean, that's really, you call it strategic, right? Because
Mhm.
called a strategy. There's got to be some sort of strategy. But before we get into that, Giselle, let's talk a little bit about you.
Okay.
Because everybody comes on the show says the first thing they tell me when they sit down is, okay, Herdy, I'm a little nervous. And I hear that all the time. And I go, great. So we're going to find out. So I had pronounced your last name was a Tuuri,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
And that is a correct pronunciation of what?
It is a Finnish name, and it means luck.
There you
And
go.
the Americanized version is Turi,
Right.
and the actual pronunciation is Tuuri.
Tuuri.
Mhm.
So there you go. So and it's spelled Tuuri for those of you listening in, and the first name Giselle is Jie, I guess S
Jis.
Jisele. So great name like Hurdy Burke. Everybody goes Hurdy, Hurdy, right? No, Burke. No, no E and IE on the first name.
Yeah, we
So
got to be a little
so me and
different.
you got the great names,
There you
right?
go.
We mess with them all the time. All right. So originally Texas.
Born and raised in Austin, Texas.
Awesome.
Hmm.
So you have been here to see that fun little quaint town, the capital, turn
Hmm.
into a major city. So
Yes.
uh, tell me what it used to be like out in Round Rock.
Well,
There was
towns
a
used to be separate. Now everything merges.
right, but I mean there was two-lane roads, right?
Hmm.
Old downtown, no housing out here, so to speak,
Oh
right?
no,
This was, I mean,
it is
it
so
was all
different.
back. You would not be able to find your way around out here if you didn't know where you're going, right? Georgetown
Exactly.
was a long distance away.
Hmm.
The back roads over to the other side probably wasn't a 183 extension out there. You just went across town to get to this little place called Cedar Park, right? Little hole in the wall.
Yeah,
And so you've seen this
big
whole
changes.
the big changes.
Oh
So
yeah.
you like it better, or is you mixed feeling? I'm kind of mixed feeling myself.
Well, I've just got a place in my heart for Austin. I don't know if it's because I was born here
Yep.
or if once you move and live in snow country for several years in Idaho, you just
Oh
appreciate it
God.
that much more.
Oh God. Yeah. couldn't wait to get back.
Absolutely.
So that's cool. So you might be the first guest, except your appearance. We had you here last year, and it's cool. We get to talk about this food thing again. You might be, of all the shows I've done, you might be one of the few, the only guest that's originally from Austin, Texas. What do you think of that?
I love it.
I know, isn't that cool? All right, so tonight we're going to talk about anti-aging, Jisele, and you're going to talk. We're going to talk about your website. Oh, let's go ahead and give our guests that website. It is.
It's www.lovingrawfoods.com, and that's just like it sounds, LOVINGRAWFOODS.com.
That's cool. LovingRawFoods.com. Go check it out. Don't leave our show. I will have links to this after the show so you can, when we put it up and post it, and she'll get a copy of this, she'll be able to post it. It'll have a link on there straight to the website, which is really cool. But before we get started with this, you've got something coming up, right? You've got an event you might make sure we mention. Maybe we should do that right now, top the show, so we make sure people are aware of it.
Sure, Herdy, I'd love to. I have a women's retreat coming up in June. It's June 13th and 14th, and it's held at Cedar Break Retreat Center in Belton. It's called Great Goddess Alive, and this is going to
I like that.
Yes, and the reason I titled that is it's because it's about inspiring and empowering women to tap into that, if you will, that goddess part of them, and to start getting the encouragement they need to step forward in their authentic self, and to start doing what it is they've wanted to do for many years and maybe set aside, because family and whatnot. And
haven't gotten to it, so to
yes,
speak, right?
yes,
Let's
yes,
get to it. So it is about empowering, right?
yes,
It's about inspiring. And when you say authentic, beautiful self, you're really talking about that inside stuff,
yes,
right?
and just tapping into that depth of yourself, because a lot of times in our day-to-day schedules, we get so busy that we don't have time to think about, what is it I really love to do? What is it I want to do to contribute to the world and make the world a better place?
I think we get that when we get older too. We start reflecting back on, man, I wish I'd done that back in my 20s and 30s. Just get a little wiser.
Yeah.
And you get a little bit more mortal feeling about who you are, right? That's cool.
I think too, women, especially, like 40s, 50s, whatnot, they're empty nesters, or they might be going through major life change, and they're ready to create something new and fulfilling in their life. And that's another big part of this Great Goddess Alive retreat.
And so how do they get to the retreat? How do they sign up or register for it? Would they go on to your LovingRawFoods.com website?
LovingRawFoods.com, and at the top, it's just Women's Retreat.
Okay. I'm going to go to your website after the show. When I put it on the player, I'm going to put a link straight to that page. Okay. So they can go straight from the player and sign up for it right there on the player. Okay. And when you share the player to anybody, they can go and do that. I'll put a whole bulletin board up that says retreat. Click here.
Okay, awesome. And there's only 6 spots left.
Oh, my goodness. And they're $1 billion. You're not telling me. Actually,
it's a phenomenal price for 2 days and 1 night. It's only $189.
Wow.
And I mean,
that's pretty good. And where's it going to be at?
This is at Cedar Break Retreat Center in Belton.
Oh, so, cool. So you're going right up the road. Yeah, that's cool. What a great area.
I mean, belly dancing, yoga. There's a chocolate.
So you do that.
Yeah.
You do the belly dancing thing. Do you still do that?
I do.
Wow.
I do.
Amazing.
So there's so much more. You'll just have to go on to LovingRawFoods.com.
Okay.
To Women's Retreats, and you'll find out more details and go ahead and register and get your spot.
That's awesome. And so, guys, we'll have all the links to that after the show, and I'm going to give her a custom player. Again, just to repeat that, all the stuff we say in here, there'll be links to all this stuff tonight. Okay? So just remember to go LovingRawFoods.com. All right. So we've got some great questions. We're talking about anti-aging. I like to think that I'm going through that right now. I just rolled over to the 6-0, and I like to think that I'm really healthy, right? And you get more involved in thinking about what you're eating. The Oreo cookies are good. I just don't eat as many as I used to eat. Don't get mad at me. All right. So when we talk about, let's get into the raw foods. So when we talk about, what do you mean by a raw plant-based food?
Okay. I think that's a very important question to address right off the top. to avoid any confusion. One of the first things people ask me when I say raw is, does that mean raw meat? And
No,
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 not at all.
that's not a plant.
No. What I'm talking about is fresh fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, like smoothies. And these are foods that are still, they have a life force intact. So what I mean
Right,
by that, it's not heated over 118 degrees, at the highest.
right.
So your nutrition is still intact. Your vitamins, your
Enzymes.
minerals, your enzymes, absolutely. And your enzymes help you to digest your food, and
Yeah,
then it can go to the
got to
cells. And
have them.
yeah, yeah,
And
very important.
I think, Giselle, then we used to call overcooked food dead food, right? Because
Yes.
you still were eating it, but
Mhm.
you were lost the enzymes that were active
Mhm.
because you killed
Mhm.
them off.
Mhm.
So you got to be careful what you heat it at.
But have you
So
ever noticed that whenever you eat cooked foods, it's hard to get full. You just want to eat and eat and eat. That's because there's no nutrition. Your body doesn't, and it's
it's like
going,
eating
I
dirt.
want, I want more. I'm not satisfied, right?
Right,
And you
right.
don't get that with
That makes
the raw
total sense.
plant-based
Right.
foods.
And so really, if you can buy stuff and you're comfortable just eating it as it is, right? Like cauliflowers and stuff like that. I like them cold,
Mhm.
honestly, because they taste good, right?
Mhm.
And you might dip in a little dressing, use olive oil or something like that. You know, it's
Mhm.
good for you. But yeah, so raw plant foods are foods that are not meat. They're
Mhm.
raw plant foods, but they're not overcooked.
Right, not over 118
So
degrees.
you can cook them, just don't kill them.
Right.
So 118 degrees, is that the
That's the
magic bullet?
highest. Yeah, that's
Okay,
the highest.
keep it
Preferably
below
just
that.
eat it fresh.
Yeah,
And like salads, and it's amazing. One of the things that I teach people are there are some incredible combinations that you can make with raw foods. It's not just doesn't have to just be that. So it doesn't have to be boring. It can be just
yeah.
delicious.
Do you have recipes for you know, these new blenders, these NutriBullets, and these things
The
that are
Vitamix.
really good, so you can spin this stuff up, the Vitamixer and or Vitamaster, or whatever it's called. Um, do you have recipes so you can make some of the stuff taste okay? I mean, or do you
I
just hold your nose
do.
and drink it?
Oh no, no, I do. As a matter of fact, I'm glad you brought that up, Herdy, because if you go to my website, which again is lovingraWfoods.com, on the home page there, if you just fill out your contact information, you will receive a free gift of some video recipes.
And I'm gonna register for that tonight because I
Yes.
want those. Because the thing is, as you're blending this stuff, and
Mhm.
depending what you put in there, and I might put a little protein, just a little bit. I try to stay away from that too. But you learn how to mix stuff, right?
Yes.
And but if I want to grind up some spinach, or I want to grind up some asparagus, or I want to grind up something, you know, I want something else with that
Yes.
so to kind of take the edge off.
See, that's the thing too. That's okay. A green smoothie,
Right,
spinach, kale, whatever. Now, people that aren't too crazy about greens, you'll get the benefit of the greens. Those green, dark leafy greens have sufficient amounts of protein and calcium, phytonutrients,
right,
chlorophyll, et cetera, et cetera.
right.
Okay, so you throw that in there, and you throw in a couple of bananas, fresh fruit, berries, whatever, almond milk,
Cool,
some dates to sweeten, and you don't taste the green, but you have the benefit of the green.
cool.
So it's so powerful.
Yeah, and so don't. I know a lot of people don't do that because they're scared of the taste of it, right? But I'm telling you, there's tons of recipes. Go to Pinterest.
Mhm.
Vitamax out
Mhm.
there. People have experimented with, and you just go to the store and buy them and throw them in and try it. That stuff gets in your system. It'll make you feel really good.
And with smoothies, you want to stay away from dairy. Do almond milk,
You know what?
coconut
I
milk.
like. I know you're right, but occasionally I like that good fat whole milk. But you're right. Almond milk, if you can handle it, right? If you're not allergic to the and
Mhm.
soy milk, right? If you're not
Soy has
allergic to the
estrogens
because
in it.
that's good
Yeah.
stuff. But you got you got all sorts of different kinds of milks and stuff
There's
you can use.
coconut. There's hemp seed
Yogurt,
milk.
put yogurt in. I try to use some yogurt
You
for
can do
taste,
that.
not a lot, but
There's even coconut yogurt
that's what
and
I'm
almond
saying.
milk
And that's
yogurt.
good. That's cultured stuff. That's got a lot of enzymes.
Yes.
So there you go. All right. So what does all this have to do with anti-aging?
All right.
Because that's what you
Yes.
really are. That's really your strategy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. The big part with that is whenever you're eating foods that are fresh and they're not cooked, they are going to be alkaline.
That's
Now,
good.
cooked foods, dairy, meat, processed sugar, those are acidic. Acid in your body creates a breakdown in the aging process to speed up. Okay, you start deteriorating because of the acid. That's also what starts the illness process. Okay,
So your alkaline level in your body needs to be at a certain level, like
and
a 7 or a 6
hmm
at least.
and instead of worrying about all that, see, I
Yeah,
don't get into
you
details.
you're
I
like
make it
me. Instead of
simple.
worrying about search on Google, I
hmm
tell people just to do the right stuff, right?
Yes,
Does that make
I
sense?
mean, life
Okay,
should be simple. Don't you
right.
agree, Herbie?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So whenever you put living foods, which has the life force in it, that is going to be alkaline, and
Right.
then you not only start healing your body, if I can say that, you start
It's
rebalancing.
you balance it
You
because
rebalance
it
that.
has to have a certain alkaline level to keep from getting cancers, to keep from getting. It's been proven that high alkaline levels are good preventative,
Mhm.
so to
Mhm.
speak, right? Um, our water that we buy in bottles is dead. We need to learn how to alkaline our water. There's different techniques to do that. You
Mhm.
know, your tap water is better than, that's not a good choice, but it's better than what you get in a bottle because at least it's
Mhm.
got alkaline levels in it, right? So, anyhow, we'll talk about that. So, anti-aging it has to do with eating the good kind of foods, the raw plant-based foods, the good stuff that keep you from having this acidic,
Let me tell you
toxic.
something here. It's really interesting because you can look at your face, and if you see lines,
How am I doing?
bags under your eyes, you see all these different things that show up that people have come to believe, sadly enough, that that's just natural when you get to a certain age. I'm sorry, that is not correct. Those are telltale signs
Free
that
radical attack.
your kidneys, your livers, your liver, your different organs in your body are compromised. So what do? You clean them up. You offer alkaline foods, so fresh fruits and vegetables.
So
So
inside out instead of outside in.
exactly. And then those things clear up, and that's where you start reversing
That makes
in
total sense.
age.
That makes total sense. And see, that's what people don't understand is I believe you can actually do that.
Yes.
You can change yourself and you can even be at a level where you're not feeling well and change it all and the body will recover from that. It may take some time, but you can actually reverse some
Mhm.
processes in your system, correct?
Mhm. There are
Amazing.
people 60s, 70s, 80s that start looking 10 and 20 years younger when they start eating like this. Their eyesight clears up, they lose the wrinkles, the gray hair
Get
starts
they get they
changing.
get joint pads back or fluids back. They get
Mhm.
the grinding. Everything starts to heal up.
Their hair starts the
And
normal
this is
color comes
eating
back.
good
It's
stuff. We're
amazing.
not even talking about taking supplements here. We're talking
Right.
about eating right kind of foods,
Just
right?
from the earth, the way it comes,
Right, right.
not processed, not packaged.
Yeah. So when you go to the grocery store, ignore everything in the center aisle. Stay on
What's
the
on the
outside
outside?
wall.
Exactly. That's the best way to shop.
It is.
It
Stay on
really
the
is.
outside wall, right? And don't go to the inside of the store. Unless you have to have Oreo cookies every once in a while. Then you go get you one. I'm kidding
I
with you.
hear nothing. No.
I know. I know. All right. So as a woman's anti-age strategist, Gisele, how do you help men? Because we've been talking about women, and I know that's your focus. But how do you
hmm
help men?
Well, it's actually the same thing
They just
because men, it's what you consume, and men can go through hormone imbalance too. It's not just women.
they can.
Yeah, and
They sure can.
it's called
I'm laughing at myself. They
oh,
sure can.
it's called andropause
Yes.
in men.
Is
Yes,
it?
yes,
Okay.
and some of the similar
I might have that.
uh, symptoms too. But there again, the reason I got onto this, to be totally upfront, is because, okay, I just turned 58, and in my late 40s, I started going through the symptoms of menopausal symptoms, perimenopause,
Drive me
hot
crazy.
flashes. So yeah, and you feel like you're going nuts
Yeah,
because you
because
can't think
yeah,
straight.
you just
Exactly. And when
yeah.
somebody told me about
Old age
this
is a bitch.
lifestyle,
Okay, go ahead.
when when somebody told me about this lifestyle and I started incorporating more, fresh
Right.
fruits and vegetables and smoothies, I was able to wean myself off of hormone replacement therapy.
That's awesome. And so,
Yeah,
and we're not, and I don't think you're stating that everybody needs to, check with your doctors and do the right things, but start. You can't hurt yourself taking whole food.
exactly.
You can't.
I mean, that's how it came. It didn't come when you go
I
out
mean,
and on or pick a
right.
package off
Well,
of
eat
a
a
vine.
or swap a banana out for a cookie. You know what I'm saying? Just
Mhm.
try that. Just slowly. And if I remember correctly, last time you were on the show, you even said things start slowly. You know what I'm
Oh
saying? You
yes.
you start out experimenting, and then I reverted back. Then you get a little bit better at it, and then it becomes part of your habitual process.
Right.
Right?
You want to be gentle. You don't want to kick yourself in the tush because, oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
Don't shame yourself to death,
no,
please.
that's worse. And
That's
you
what
want to take it
causes
in
you to eat
steps.
more junk. Right.
Exactly. It's a comfort food thing.
All right.
You take it in steps.
Okay, cool. All right. So um, we let's talk about some suggestions for staying younger. You talked about lines, and I guess we used to call that pre-radical attack, where your system was metabolizing extremely fast, right, and
Hmm.
you were aging. So the lines are aging lines, but um, I think we just said that it's not true. It's a myth that that's just caused by getting older. Sure, your
Right.
skin loses a less, what's the word? Yes,
Elasticity.
thank you.
Hmm.
Um, but you can keep up with it by doing the right thing.
Yes.
You go feed somebody some hamburgers every day, 3 times a day. Do it for a year and see what they look like in a year,
Yeah.
and see if their looks don't change.
Oh yeah.
Right? Do that. Right? I don't think anybody would, but just see what happens.
What was the documentation where the guy every day
I'm
ate
not going to mention the
McDonald's?
name of the company. Yeah, you did it. That's your problem. This
Oops.
show is not opinions of hurting. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that was my point.
Right.
And it just nailed it, because you can't live like that. You got to have good stuff. Your body's like a fuel tank in a car.
Mhm.
When it runs out of gas, it stops,
Yeah,
so
and
to
you've
speak.
got to put healthy fuel in your
So
body
so
so
how
keep
did
going.
what's your suggestions for staying younger and looking good? How do we uh, what is your normal process during the day? What do you munch
Well,
on?
I try to get as much water in my system, clean
Right.
water,
Okay.
because we're made it with mostly water, and
70%. Yeah.
water is the energy conduit.
Right.
Okay. There are a lot of ailments out there that are due to dehydration, so it's important
Makes total
to
sense.
up your
Now,
water
where
intake.
can you get? Do you know where you can get alkaline water? Is there machines you have to add it to it, or can you
Um,
buy it? Because you know what I'm saying, with a higher page level.
right there's
I know
Kagan water. I think there's a couple of them out there.
what I'm saying is they're generally pretty expensive. I know there's a machine, and I'm trying to think of the name of it. A buddy of mine had one. It set up on the side of a sink, and you could turn the
Oh
alkaline
yes.
level up from
Mhm.
7 to 10, depending on how much you could handle. In other words, if you tasted metallic, you backed it off a little bit.
I
But
think that's the
how cool!
Kagan.
But
Mhm.
alkaline water,
Yes.
right? Or just at least get water with nutrients in it.
And I mean, you don't have to go out and get an expensive machine. If you can get
No,
just a filter
that
on
gets rid of
your
all the
faucet,
junk, and you still got the good pH level in the water.
or
That's
if
what I
you go
do.
to like some of these stores like uh, well, in Austin there are HEB,
I
Sprouts,
think
and then
Walmart has the
they have the filter outside and you can fill it up. I would suggest a glass bottle as opposed to plastic because
oh,
plastic can leach.
plastic's got all sorts of. I don't.
Mhm.
I don't. Plastic bottles aren't good for you,
Yeah, try to use
especially if they
glass
sit
as
out in the
much as
car. You know
possible.
what I'm saying? People can
Yeah,
sit for a long time. They get all
the
that. I mean,
heat.
think about
Hmm.
that. Yeah, that's not good. All right. So, um, we just talked about instead of worrying about healing from the outside in, it's more about inside out, right?
Right,
We try to mask how we look, right, outside in, but we're not looking at addressing what's causing
right.
the speed up the aging process, right? And I've seen people, and I know you have too. You see some people who age very gracefully, And then you see people who, oh my God, look like they're 80 and they're in their
Mhm.
60s
Right.
because they just haven't taken care of themselves, right? I
Mhm.
mean, that's kind of where the illness thing comes in, right? So we can go, can't we, without getting sick if we do the right things?
You
Not
you can,
viruses are part of life. You're going to catch flus and stuff like that.
but if your body is strong and
The immune system's good. That's what I
see,
was
it
trying to
takes a
say.
while. You want to, it's not so much about taking supplements and stuff. It's about eating foods that are actually going to feed the cell of your body, so the raw plant-based foods. And also things, stop doing what's creating the problem and slowing down or compromising your immune system in the
Sure,
first place.
that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, and to continue as far as ways or to for anti-aging or to help that along, proper rest is real important.
Sleep,
8 hours
good
of sleep
sleep.
if possible,
Hmm.
restful sleep, not
Yeah,
choppy
yeah,
sleep.
not choppy sleep.
Right.
Wake up, go to sleep. Yeah,
I
that's never been a
highly
problem for me.
highly recommend not sitting in front of the news and watching all the stuff they have
Cable
influence your sleep.
24/7.
Yeah, it's like, and then you wonder why you can't sleep or you have nightmares.
Or just yeah, to
So that's
de-level your
stress.
stress
Yes,
level.
yes. So and do things, take a walk in the evening, do things that are soothing, calming. That and everyone's different.
Take
They
your
know what
doggy
works
for a
for them.
walk.
There you
Yeah,
go. Or you can pet your
take your
doggy.
Rusty for a walk. There you go. All right. And so, why plant-based foods over cooked foods? I think we kind of generally talked about that, but
Yeah.
why?
Well, there again, most foods are, once they are cooked and they're heated over 118, they're basically dead. So you're not, the tendency is to want to eat more and more and more because your body's crying for something to satisfy it, and it has nothing to work with. So it's trying to find something it can actually work with and to feed the cells of the body. And so it wants more, wants more. Now, whenever you're eating fresh fruits and vegetables, you're going to get satiated quicker, you're satisfied. Also, for people that want to lose weight, you automatically, that is a side benefit because, you've got the nutrition you need and you don't overeat. So you're not packing on empty calories.
Makes total sense. And you know what? Staying away from raised, right?
Hmm.
And just wanted to grab something, right?
Hmm. Oh,
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
In cooked foods, the body really doesn't recognize it, so it will automatically start
Reject
attacking.
it.
I know, it does. It does.
It does, and it may seem like it, but the bloating and all the stuff that goes with that, that's kind of the intestinal tract not handling it really well. That's not a good sign.
The kidneys and the
The
liver
kidneys,
can't
livers
filter it.
overworking.
Right.
They get a lot of junk in them. They have to be cleaned out. So, gosh, it's okay. All right, so you've got something on here that's going to be very controversial, and that is why not Botox and why not just go and get a tummy tuck? Come on, be done with it. Abuse yourself and then just tuck and it'll change life.
And you can do that.
I know you
You can
can.
do that.
Yeah, yes, you're right.
But it's not going to totally fix the problem.
Right. So, in
Okay.
other words, it's an outside. Even though the tummy tuck is shrinking inside the stomach and not, it can't fill it up as much. That's really what it's about, right? I mean,
Hmm.
you're trying. But if you stay with the same habits long enough, it'll all come back, right? If anything, you'll get sick.
Yeah, and it actually goes
But
back.
isn't
It goes back to being 100% responsible for your own health.
right?
Okay. And yes, that takes some doing, but this is your body. You got this for however long you're going to be on the earth. And the better you take care of yourself, the longer you're going to be here, but not in a way that you're suffering.
Right.
If you're healthy, you're going to live a long, productive life. You can enjoy your kids. You can enjoy your mate. You can have fun. There's a lady in her 80s that is a mountain climber. I mean, you take care of yourself. There's nothing you cannot do. There are no limits.
So I guess what I'm going to ask you then,
Hmm.
Botox is a poison, isn't it?
Well,
I mean, they're utilizing it not that way, but I'm saying they are using it for well, whatever. I would never let anybody personally put it in
Mm-hmm.
my system. I don't care what it does,
Well,
right? It's not worth it.
one way or the other, if because it's very evasive.
Yeah, you
Anything
think?
that's evasive, any surgery that's the body is an incredible. Um, I don't want to say a machine.
It is. It's a healing, and it heals, and it knows what to
Yeah.
do. I agree. Okay.
If it's given the tool and it's not
It knows what
all
to
this
do.
other stuff happening to it to traumatize it.
It knows what to do.
Yes.
Cool. So again, your choice. You know,
Hmm.
you can do that if you like, but there might be a better way to naturally take care of that. That's what we're
And
saying.
that's what I offer is I
And
like
that's
to,
what you offer,
yeah.
right? Okay. All right. So let's get in the website again. It's Loving Raw Foods.
Yes. LovingRawFoods.com. So LovingRawFoods.
And then you've got your retreat coming up
Mm-hmm.
on
It's
June.
June 13th and 14th at Cedar Break Retreat Center. That's Great Goddess Alive Women's Retreat.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And that is at the livingrawfoods.com under the retreats button
Yeah,
at the top.
it's
I'm going
women's
to link
retreat.
that for you
Mm-hmm.
later. Okay, cool.
Thank you.
And it's 2 days,
2 days and
less
one
than
night.
$200. That's a deal,
Mm-hmm.
and you get to learn all this cool stuff.
Yes.
And what happens at one of these retreats?
Well,
Can you give away a few tidbit secrets here?
yeah. If you learn not only how to tap into the depth of yourself, but it's an environment that it's almost like a safe environment for you to just be who you really are.
Right.
There's no judgment. There's just encouragement, and it's not like it's not a serious thing. I mean, there's time for contemplation, meditation, journaling, and it's on 69 acres. It's beautiful.
So
There's
you
a
just
river
get to
out
hang
there.
out and learn
Yeah.
about stuff, and you got some
Yeah.
different stuff teaching people things, and
Mhm.
you know, the raw food side, and you get some, you know, all that kind of stuff. You get to learn about this, and I'm sure and they can get your recipes right now.
Yes, and we have the chocolate bliss dessert class. I'll be
What?
teaching chocolate bliss dessert class.
Is that with natural
Oh yes,
chocolate that you
yes,
buy, organic chocolate,
yes.
and you can?
The
That's probably
cuisine, the
cool.
cuisine is raw vegan or fresh fruits and vegetables and vegetarian.
Right.
Is what the cuisine is. Like I said, there's belly dancing, yoga, hiking.
That's
Just a
awesome.
lot of amazing things that we're gonna get
That's
to
cool.
do. Hmm.
Yay! And so, pretty cool. All right, so 2 days of that,
Hmm.
and the chocolate thing got my attention.
Hmm.
Organic chocolate you can make good, and it's
Hmm.
good for you.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
one
No,
chocolate you can eat all day
no
long.
dairy, no sugar, so
Right.
it's
It's
very
healthy,
healthy
and that's what it's supposed to be.
and
And
delicious.
it is. No kidding. All right. So, um, how does is eating healthy the only thing you can do to look younger?
That's a big part of it. I think the mind-body connection is very powerful, and I like to say a good attitude versus a bad attitude. So checking in
Good way to
and
say
check
it.
your attitude.
That's a good way to say it.
Yeah.
And what about exercise?
Exercise is very important. Of course, one of the things I teach is belly dance fitness.
That would hurt my hip.
Men can do it too, Hardy.
It would hurt my hip.
But it doesn't have to be that. You want to choose a fun fitness that you'll stick with.
If it's walking or whatever,
Sure.
It could be fast walking, it could be yoga, it could be just stretching and isolation. I love swimming.
Yeah.
Swimming is what I do. So
yeah. So it's a combination. It's your attitude. It's accepting and self-appreciation. And it's the food. It all plays an important part. But you want to do it in a way that's fun. It's not, like I said, if you feel like you've slipped off or something, so what? Start anew. Be gentle with
not
yourself.
a shame thing.
No,
Just find
not
something
at
you
all.
like to do and stick with it, right?
The point is you're taking a step forward each
Right.
time.
So becoming healthy, good eating habits, figuring out some things that are activities that are fun for you. It could be walking dog, it could be jogging,
more.
it could be play, it could be riding a bike, it could be hiking through parks, it could be just getting out, right? That all helps the mind and the head.
And it's not just the fitness aspect. It's go out and have some fun.
Right.
Life is, you got to play. It's not just work and no play.
And what people don't realize about exercise is, and this is probably going to get me in big trouble for saying this, is you have to balance that out by eating good, because exercise actually speeds up metabolisms, and metabolisms speeded up actually cause quicker aging and free radical attacks. So you have to come back and balance that.
Mhm.
You
Well,
know,
life is balanced.
that's what I'm saying. But my point is, people don't realize exercise is a way to speed up your metabolism, right? And all that. You need to be balancing that with the good stuff
Mhm.
in order to stay that way.
And also the saying, if you don't use it, you lose it. That's so true. Because
That's
if you're
true.
not working your muscles,
They go away.
the message is,
They go away.
oh, well, okay, I guess I can just not do anything and start breaking down, right?
They
No,
and
you
they
don't want
will.
that to happen. Yes.
They will.
They will.
And for all you guys in your 20s that are looking really good and you're lifting a lot of weights and you got big muscles and that's good, just remember there's a day where you have to the muscle goes away if you don't keep going.
Mhm.
So you got
Yes.
to have a plan
Yes. Mhm.
when you get later on that how you're going to maintain that, right?
And that's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I have to go to a gym to do that.
No.
Make it
God, gyms are boring,
make it
actually.
an I get to, not an
Yeah.
I have to.
The only
Because
thing good about gyms are the sauna and the hot tub. Sorry.
yeah, oh, I know.
And
I'm the
that's
same
it.
way.
And that's it. And swimming, and then I'm out. I won't touch the weights. I don't care about the running. You find stuff you like to do,
Mhm.
or you won't do it.
Mhm.
You'll
Sure.
regret even going to the gym. And I hate gyms. Go walk.
Yeah.
It's easier to
Enjoy
go out and
nature. Be in
walk, right?
nature.
You know, and yeah, just go walk. All right. So, um, what is a good way? This is probably address this a little bit, but what's a good way to get started?
Okay, this does not have to be difficult. There again, you want to be gentle with yourself. And what I suggest is get started with the smoothies. And we talked
I
about
love
that
that. And
earlier.
you've got the
Yeah.
recipes. Can they get some recipes from you by going to your website?
Yes, you just fill in the information, your contact
I'm
information,
going to
and
do
there's
that. I
some
want those.
video recipes.
Woohoo! I want
Mhm.
those.
Mhm. And as you go through the site, there's also other recipes there too.
And how do people? You've got a YouTube channel with like 70 videos, don't you?
I do.
And how do we get to that? Do you know? Did they just type? If they type in your name, they can find it, can't they? Because it's generally under
Should
your
be just
name.
Giselle Tuuri.
Yeah.
YouTube, Giselle Tuuri.
And I'm gonna find your link
Yes.
and I'm gonna put it on the player.
And okay.
Okay. So you'll
Okay.
have a loop YouTube link inside your player. So for all you people listening, when she gets the player and puts it up on her website, there'll be. I'm sure she has a link there, but there's also going to be a link in this player. So anywhere you share it, they'll be
Okay.
able to go to your YouTube channel too.
Okay. And
Okay.
I've got everything from
Cooking
food
tips.
recipes to motivational inspiration. A little bit of belly dancing in there, but mostly raw food.
We'll
and
ignore
motivational.
that part.
You'll
No.
ignore that.
No, that's cool though because there's people who can do that. I can't. Not we're not designed for that.
Yeah.
But no, but it's good for you.
Mhm. Oh, it's a good cardio. Works all the muscles.
I bet it does. And see that thing right there?
Mhm.
I'm getting ready to be sitting on one of those.
Mm.
I have one in the back.
Mhm.
I'm talking about the ball instead of
Yeah.
sitting in a chair. But I've
Right.
got one, but I need a bigger one.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna be getting that part of it too, so
Mhm.
I can sit here and work to keep me straight.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
So,
that really helps you with your core
but I'm
muscles.
just saying that core, that
Mhm.
belly dance has a lot with core.
It does.
You tighten up really quick. I'm
Absolutely.
pretty doggone sure of that. All right.
Mhm.
So, so you start slow,
Mhm.
no rush. Start with some smoothies. Just
You can
build
do,
into it.
and you can
Replace
do
some
mono
stuff.
meals. And mono meal is like an apple is one thing. So just start out
Banana.
slowly. Yeah.
Replace a
That's
cookie with a
easy.
banana.
Yeah. So
Have
that's
some
easy.
blueberries on your cereal if you eat cereal.
Mhm.
Start that way, right? You still,
It's just
I
incorporating, adding a little
love
bit.
freaking cereal with milk. It's one of my. I'm sorry, it's one of my favorite things. I'm not going to give it up. But
But put
what
those
I've learned to
strawberries
do
in
is
there.
to put strawberries and blueberries,
Yeah.
and now I would, and oatmeal is, even though I don't think people realize that even bread sometimes has a lot of inflammatory
It does. It
ingredients
creates
to it. It's got a lot of
inflammation
yeast
in the
and wheat
body.
and inflammation. So you don't want to overeat bread. But if you do, try to go some. All bread is wheat. That's the big myth. I tell people all the time.
Okay.
White bread is wheat.
Right.
So is dark bread.
Mhm.
It's wheat.
Mhm.
Okay. So don't tell me you're buying wheat bread. I'll say fine. You've already bought wheat bread. You bought bread. Um, but yeah, I'll add blueberries or strawberries or even real honey. And I'm
Mhm.
talking about unprocessed honey. I'm
Right.
talking about it still has the hive, it's natural, and
Mhm.
it's not been processed. That's good for you. And
Mhm.
especially if it's from the local area you're in, right? Because then
Mhm.
your allergies will
Yes.
improve because you're getting the
It builds your
pollen.
immune
It builds your
system.
immune system.
Mhm.
So there's cool things you guys can do to get started.
Oh yeah.
Just replace something.
Instead of refined sugar, there's turbinado, which is a raw sugar. It's not stripped, so it has all the minerals in it. Or honey, like you suggested.
Yeah, there are some good sugars that you can buy instead of the big sugar thing.
Mhm.
Get some raw sugar, right?
Or stevia, that's
But you
another
can
one.
find all this at Whole Foods. So when you go in, he's sleeping.
Mm.
Ask about the different sugars. There's
Mhm.
people who are experts and that can take you to the
Yeah.
right stuff in the store.
So
Cool.
there's ways to
So
get
there's ways
start
to get your
gradually.
sweet on,
Mhm. Exactly.
and there's good ice creams.
Mhm.
Just what I'm saying, that you can get like sherbets or get something that's natural, organic, right? That fruit bars. I don't know, some stuff.
You can do something as
Wean yourself off. Is what I'm trying to say.
you can do as far as sweets. You can do stuff as simple as taking bananas and freezing them, and then whipping them up in like a custard in a food processor or a blender,
There you go.
and then you add fresh strawberries or berries or whatnot. So it's like an ice cream, and it's sweet,
That's
and it's
good,
like a
and it's
custard.
natural.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
natural. I saw today on a show a natural. I saw kids being uh, given. They weren't told what it was, but it's actually,
Kind of like
but
the
they had
smoothies.
no idea.
Mhm.
Top of the strawberry, and they were loving it.
See, there's ways of doing it where you
That's what
get
I'm
what
saying.
you
I
need
want
and it's
those recipes
delicious.
because you want some taste. You'll get tired if you're just blending stuff up that's really dark and green, and you're not going to like the way it tastes, and you're going to get tired of it. You have to come up with some recipes, and there's people have been experimenting with this on those things. They already got them. Just
Mhm.
follow what they're doing, right? And don't be scared to beat up the pulp.
Oh, right.
Don't strip off the skins, because all that stuff's good for you too. Some things,
Some things.
right? Yeah, you be careful there.
Yeah.
Play by ear. All right. So, how can people find out more about you? Where do you generally you do webinars? Do you do
Um,
teleseminars? We talked
teleseminars.
about that.
Teleseminars. In fact, I have a teleseminar coming up this Thursday at 7 Central, and it's called Feel Good Now, and it's 3 key action steps to moving toward feeling better in your body.
Now, is that an ongoing thing for you, or do you just decide to do these and you just post it out there?
I'll be
So,
posting it. It'll be about every other week, so
okay,
every two
so
weeks.
will it be on your website where they can come and listen to the archive of it, or are you
Yes,
going to? Okay, all right. Do you have a newsletter? Do you have a newsletter they can get on with
I
you?
do. As a matter of fact, you go ahead and go to lovingrawfoods.com, and that information you fill out, you'll be able to get the newsletter as well as get your free recipe videos.
Wow, that's
hmm
awesome. So that's a good thing.
And there's more recipes in the newsletter, and some great articles, and then some updates of what's going on.
Yeah, so
hmm
you got newsletters you can go for. You can go to our website. You can sign up and get the recipes.
Yes,
So that's a great way to get started, because she's already experimented with them and she's already got great recipes. She's got a retreat coming up, and all this, guys, is a good way to start. So if you're listening to this or on the archive or on YouTube, you know, um, you're going to love the fact that it's as simple as getting started.
it is. It does not have to be hard. Make it easy. Have
And you
fun
keep
with it.
saying that.
Yes.
That's the key. Everybody wants to start off like, I got to go get this done.
Yeah. You do not want to be overwhelmed. We want simplicity and joy, because that's what life is all about.
And do you recommend that somebody hire you, which I think might be a good idea? Do you coach people through the process? Like if somebody wants to go through a process with you and change their whole food diet and really learn it and really want to go to that next level with them, do you coach them through this? Do
I
you have
do.
programs?
In fact, I recommend that, because you want support with this. A lot
Right.
of times people
Sorry about my
will
dog
come to
being in the way.
me, and they'll they'll say like they're ready to make some healthy changes in their
Right.
life, but they're the only one in the family, say for an example, and they just need that support
Coaching.
system and that encouragement. I highly recommend having that behind you, or having a good coach. I do that, and I stand behind you, encourage you, I give you some ideas, and we
So you work with
yeah,
people directly
absolutely.
on that period too. So that's
Mhm.
good to know, Because that would seem like to me a pretty natural thing for you to do with somebody is once they get involved in your newsletter or your website, right? And they start watching some of your videos is, hey, the next step is.
Yeah, because I'll take you by the hand and work you through this. And we just work together in the best way that fits you, because everyone's a little different.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Customized programs, what I call them. You know,
mhm.
one person may want to go fast, one may go slow, one may see you once a month, one may see you once every week, right? Just
Right.
depends on what their level of curiosity is.
In
So
fact, Herdy, I think what I'll do, since we're
talking
we're
about it.
talking about this right now, for the first 4 people that would like to have a complimentary 45-minute coaching session with me, you can contact me at Jisele, Jisele, at
So
lovingrawfoods.com.
his first name at Loving.
At
Okay, I'm going to post that and
lovingrawfoods.com.
I'll put that offer on the player.
Mhm.
Now, understand that once I put that on the player, that means they've listened to the show if they call you and ask for that 6 months from now. Is that
Okay,
cool?
that's
You
fine.
you with me? Because that means they listen to the show.
Yes,
Okay, so all
absolutely.
right, so you're going to offer that. That's cool. 45 minutes.
45 minutes
But
is,
you got to email me direct. That'll be on this player. That once we
yes.
get the show done.
And that's
Okay.
normally $150 value.
Whoa, that's a good deal. Okay.
Yeah, so I want to offer that to you.
Wow. So
Mhm.
so you're off. That's only if you hear it on this show, because then
Mhm.
she'll know if you ask her about that you heard the show. Okay.
And
So
if you're ready to start making some new changes in your life, you're ready for more fulfillment in your life and to feel really great in your body.
that's good. I
Mhm.
like it. I like it. All right. So what else do we need to know tonight?
Well, with anything that feels like it's new, you want to be gentle with yourself. You take it
Right.
in steps, even if it's baby steps, and don't give up, because you are worth it. And to have vibrant health and energy at any age and to look and feel great. I mean, who doesn't want that? You want to live a good quality life.
Yes.
So again, you're worth it. Stick to it.
And a little bit more about you to kind of review quickly here. A woman's anti-aging strategist, which is awesome, and you're
Mhm.
the creator of the lovingrawfoods.com website.
Yes.
But a lot of people we didn't talk about tonight is you're also a public speaker,
Yes.
you're an author,
Mhm.
and your book
Is simple solutions for a sexy and slender
and
body.
that's also on the website, I would imagine.
Yes.
And I bet you they can get that on Amazon.
Yes. Amazon.com.
And is there a link on your website to Amazon?
There's that information on
So
there.
I will put that on the player also too. So you're
Okay.
going to have this whole player. You see, is going to have all this stuff you want to get these people to. Okay.
Awesome. Yes.
So she's an author, and the book is about being sexy and slender. Is that what you said?
It's simple solutions for a sexy and slender
Which
body.
means you're going to be taking care of
Yeah.
yourself. Okay.
And what I do is I address some common concerns: how to get enough protein, calcium,
Very good.
a little bit about affordability, spirituality, and raw foods. It all just kind of touches on those. There's a 2-week journal in there which guides you on how to add and incorporate a little bit more.
Really?
Yes.
So now
And
the
there's
book has
recipes.
also kind of a coaching journey you
Mhm.
can go through and actually track. Do you recommend people start writing down a food journal, what they're intaking, and look back at that to see what
It's
they're
good to do
if
that.
they just to show how bad they might be eating? It's kind of a shock.
It's
I went through that.
yeah,
I know. I
yeah.
went through that, and I went, oh my.
Because we get so busy, sometimes we don't think about it.
So food journal
Mhm.
both sides, right? Today
Mhm.
I had.
And
Today I
the
didn't.
book has that journal where you can write in there and take notes on that too.
That's awesome. So go buy the book. We'll put a link on that. All right. So we've almost been, gosh, going now for 45 minutes. It flies.
Yes, it does.
So the retreat's coming up. We're going to link that. It's coming up in what on
June 13th.
June 13th. So
Mhm.
we've got plenty of time for that. We're just the beginning of May. Well, technically we're a month off, so it's not that
Yeah.
far. Good
Right.
grief, it's May already. You
Mhm.
believe that? And so I've kind of enjoyed having you back on the show. So I hope you have.
Oh, I have. I love it. Thank you so much.
And we covered a ton of great information. If you guys want to learn about raw plant-based foods and anti-aging, um, highly recommend that you go to lovingrawfoods.com, check out our website, check her out. Go in and read everything. Sign up for those recipes. I'm going to do that tonight when I get
Yes.
done because I'm going to be planning to play her anyhow. I'll go get that done and get those. And go in there and get signed up for a newsletter so you can get that and sign up for a retreat.
Yes. Absolutely.
And then you get to check her out on YouTube too.
Mhm.
All right, we'll have that link too. Any final thoughts?
Just, life's to be lived to the fullest. Go out there and live it and be your best self.
And have fun.
Yes.
And did you enjoy the show again this time around?
Oh yeah, it's always
You
a
have fun.
blast,
Well, you weren't
Ernie.
nervous at all. So we've
I've
got
just been itchy
we've
bit.
got a lot of friends that we're common connected to,
Mhm.
and I'm sure they'll be glad to know you were on. We were talking about some of those before the show tonight.
Yes.
So pretty cool that we have a lot of common friends in our same circles that have
Mhm.
get to come back and enjoy this. So that's cool. So I'm glad you had fun.
Oh, I did. Thank you.
All right, listen, guys. So this has been the Hurdy Burke Internet Broadcast Network, and remember, I have a new show starting this Thursday night. It's called A New Way to Think. It's going to be all the coaches in Austin. I'm going to be rounding up different coaches. Your coach in nutrition. I'll probably have you back for that, but. I'm going to do that a little different. We're going to give everybody the teleconference number and let you come in and listen, and then we're going to open up for Q&A for about 10 minutes at the end, and then I'm going to take that MP3 on the Thursday night show, and I'm going to put it up on, put a picture of the coach and put it up on YouTube, Gisele, and then I'm
Cool.
going to put it on a custom player to give to the coach. And all that I'm doing for absolutely no charge to the coaches coming on. I'm relying on my sponsors to take care of that so I can do the show. I have
That's
3. I need a
awesome.
bunch more guys. So
Mhm.
Thursday nights, a new way to think. Thank you for being here. You did great.
Thank you.
And go check out lovingrawfoods.com. This has been the Hurdy Burke Internet Broadcast Network. We'll see you guys Thursday night go over to Facebook and do A New Way to Think. That's the group name. Sign up, join, and you'll get all the shows. And this show, if you go over to Hurdy Burke Broadcast Network on Facebook, there's a group. If you join it, it's open. I will accept you, and all the
Oh, that's awesome.
so you guys have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any final thoughts? Nothing. Anything. Go to my retreat. Say, go to my
Yeah.
retreat.
Oh, yes.
Be
You don't want to
happy.
miss out on that. We're gonna have a blast.
All right. Details coming. You guys will see you around the corner and have a great evening. And good night from the Hurdy Burke Internet Broadcast Network.